Sally Field has spent decades earning admiration for her talent, versatility, and unmistakable screen presence. From heartfelt dramas to unforgettable television roles, she built a career grounded in credibility and emotional depth. That's exactly why the sudden buzz around a set of G-string photos linked to her name caught so many people by surprise. The images didn't just circulate quietly, they sparked conversation, disbelief, and a wave of reactions that spread rapidly across the internet. At the center of the discussion wasn't just the outfit, but the contrast it created. Sally Field has long been associated with strength, warmth, and authenticity rather than shock value. Seeing her presented in such a daring context challenged the carefully formed image many people held. For some, it was unexpected to the point of disbelief. For others, it was a reminder that even the most respected figures can still surprise audiences. What made these photos so talked about was the confidence they conveyed. Rather than feeling reckless or attention-seeking, the images suggested intention and control. The styling was minimal, the poses deliberate, and the overall tone calm rather than chaotic. The phrase, "leave little to imagination," wasn't just about what was visible, it was about the boldness of the choice itself. Confidence, after all, can be far more provocative than exposure alone. Reactions online were sharply divided. Supporters praised the fearless energy behind the images, calling them empowering and refreshing. They argued that women should not be boxed into expectations based on age or past roles. Critics, however, questioned whether such photos aligned with the legacy Sally Field built over decades. But that criticism revealed something deeper: the discomfort many people feel when a familiar figure steps outside a narrowly defined identity. This moment highlighted a long-standing double standard. Male celebrities are often celebrated for reinvention and bold expression at any stage of life. Women, on the other hand, are frequently expected to remain within boundaries set years earlier. The attention surrounding these photos exposed how deeply those expectations still run. Sally Field's name alone was enough to force people to confront their assumptions. Another important element was how the media handled the story. Headlines leaned heavily on sensational language, focusing more on the G-string than the meaning behind the images. In doing so, much of the nuance was lost. Yet fans who looked beyond the headlines saw something more layered. They saw a woman asserting autonomy over her image rather than letting time or public opinion define her. For longtime admirers, the photos felt almost symbolic. Sally Field has always been known for emotional honesty in her performances. In a strange way, these images echoed that same honesty, just expressed visually instead of through dialogue. They suggested comfort in one's own skin, a refusal to disappear quietly, and a willingness to remain visible on one's own terms. Culturally, the reaction said as much about the audience as it did about Sally Field. Society often claims to celebrate confidence and self-expression, yet reacts with shock when those values are practiced in unexpected ways. The conversation around these photos revealed that contradiction clearly. Whether people loved or disliked them, they couldn't ignore them. In the end, the photos weren't really about provocation. They were about perception. They reminded viewers that public figures are not frozen in time, and that reinvention doesn't always look the way we expect. Sally Field didn't erase her legacy. She complicated it, expanded it, and made it impossible to reduce her to a single chapter. That's why these G-string photos left little to imagination.